Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Tan. Welcome back to another COD video. And in today's video, we're going to be predicting another week two, I believe, of online qualifiers before. We actually have 2 weeks until Major 3. So I think there's only one more set of qualifiers after this week. So two more weekends of qualifiers, and then we get another major. We obviously had the minor tournament last weekend, which was a huge success. Was really, really entertaining. We had great matches. LA Thieves came out on top. So let's see if they can continue that momentum coming into this weekend. But let's get straight into the predictions, starting off with Boston Breach versus Optic Texas. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm not gonna spend any time on these Friday matchups. I think they're all gonna be a 3-0. Optic is gonna destroy Boston Breach. Obviously, Optic coming off a semifinal loss in the minor tournament to LA Thieves and previous that. They look good. I don't think Optic look as sharp or as polished as they did in like the previous stage. I think this new meta has made them slightly worse, but we've only seen them like a handful of times, so we have to take those matches with a grain of salt. So yeah. Cloud9 New York versus LA Thieves. LA Thieves is gonna destroy Cloud9 New York. I can actually see Cloud9 New York taking a search and destroy, but LA Thieves seem to have improved so much in that game mode. Cloud9 is actually a pretty good search team, but everything else they are probably the worst in the league at. I mean, their respawns are terrible. I don't think Cloud9 have won a respawn in a couple of months, so that should tell you that they're just really, really bad at those game modes. So yeah, I just think these bottom tier teams are kind of cooked, guys. Like whenever it comes to these predictions or when people talk about them, the sentiment is going to be very, very negative because these teams just quite frankly don't have anything going for them. Most of them are already out of the champs race. They're just looking to play for EWC and try and build on something until then. But yeah, FaZe versus Ravens. This is going to be a 3-0. It's labeled as a monster matchup, but realistically, everybody knows that Ravens are not going to do anything here. I wouldn't be shocked if they won a map because it's online and it's new maps, it's a new meta. It's pretty, it's pretty winnable if you get a map, right? Like it's not that far off, but I just don't see them winning. Saturday's matchup, we got Carolina Rovers versus Cloud9 New York. This was actually pretty interesting. I actually think I'm gonna go with Cloud9. I actually don't think Ravens are that good. I think this actually made Ravens worse. I think Ravens are lacking firepower. You kind of had that with Nero when you replaced them with fire. I do think they're generally slower. Cloud9 looked good when they played Optic a couple of weeks ago. They took a search off of them. Like Cloud9, again, they're a good search team, but if they hone in and they really improve on their respawns, this can be a team that can actually like I think just jump up to like 8 or 9, maybe even higher because I think the bottom tier teams are really, really bad this year. So yeah. FaZe Vegas versus Heretics. I'm actually gonna go with FaZe. I like there's no way, I think it's gonna be 3-2. There's no way we get Heretics beating FaZe again. I mean, Heretics always beats FaZe. I think that's a horrible matchup for FaZe Vegas. Like if FaZe and Heretics play in like a major or a champs, that's a really bad matchup historically for FaZe. FaZe have just struggled. I mean, last year in Black Ops 6, Heretics beat them at EWC and champs. This year they beaten them like 3 times. So realistically, you just don't want to get that matchup if you're Vegas, because you might actually get just eliminated. You know, if it's a loser bracket, Heretics love that matchup. So yeah, Falcons versus Vancouver Surge. I'm actually gonna go with the Falcons. I think the Falcons are gonna bounce back. I think it'll be a 3-1, but I think they will bounce back. Falcons are under a lot of pressure right now, obviously because they bombed out of the minor. They look very, very bad. They barely beat Vancouver, and then they got completely destroyed by FaZe. Like the thing is, guys, right, is Falcons, we kind of knew this coming into the season that when things were going well, this team would be very, very solid. If everything clicked, if all the players were locked, this could be a team that can make Sundays or even a final, right? That's not out of the realm of possibilities with this team. They definitely have the capability of making a final with multiple world champions and a multiple world time champion coach on their side. But the issue with Falcons is that if something goes wrong, they just completely collapse, right? Their ceiling is really, really high, but their floor is probably one of the lowest, if not the lowest. I mean, when they look bad, they are awful. Some of the decisions that they make on the map are super, super bad. So I just don't think Falcons can improve from now. Like I think the team is kind of compromised, especially due to the fact that they just wasted time trialing out a bunch of different players and they didn't even do anything with that time. So they wasted time and they've regressed. So I think the team is kind of chalked. And if they lose to Surge, if they like lose all their matchups this weekend, I mean you absolutely have to make a change at that point. And last but not least, we have Optic Texas versus Koi. I'm actually going to give this to Toronto. I mean, to Optic 3-1. I think Toronto can take it to a game five, but I just don't see Toronto beating Optic right now. Optic have kind of decimated Koi like for the last like this whole year. They've just kind of dominated that matchup. And I don't see why that'll change now. So yeah, and Optic are definitely gonna come out with like a statement since they didn't win the minor. And I think that was a perfect opportunity for Optic to finally win an event this year. But yeah, Sunday we got LA Thieves versus Vancouver Surge. LA Thieves gonna win this 3-0. Nothing much to say. Surge are ass. G2 Minnesota versus Miami Heretics. I'm gonna give this to Miami Heretics 3-2. I think G2 Minnesota can win this, but G2 Minnesota are very, very inconsistent. As somebody who likes G2 a lot, I used to rate this team very, very highly. They've definitely gone down the list just to the track record. I mean, they placed worse at the previous land than they did at the first land. They didn't look that good online against Thieves. Like the Thieves eventually won the championship, but G2 Minnesota just looked terrible in that matchup. A lot of brain dead plays. So yeah, Boston Breach versus the Paris Gentlemates. There's actually only three matchups on Sunday. I thought there was going to be four. That's kind of weird. Boston Breach versus Gentlemates. Listen, I think this is going to be quite easily the Paris Gentlemates 3-0. I think Gentlemates have to come out and make a statement. They bombed out of that minor tournament and they looked very, very bad. So, yeah. Yeah, those are my predictions. I think the closest matchup of the weekend will probably be uh like I think it'll probably be C9 and Ravens. I can see that going either way. But let me know down in the comment section below who do you guys think is winning these matchups. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.